Welcome, everyone. I'll turn that down. So, yesterday was a new moon, and it wasn't just a new moon, it was the first new moon of the new year. And with that being said, it is the Chinese New Year. So some people look at the start of January as being the start of the new year. Some people wait for the lunar calendar to start, which would be yesterday. Some people like to look at spring as being the time to really jumpstart into the new year. I like to look these things up at the beginning of the year. I talk about the astrology and numerology for 2023. And it's always interesting to look at the Chinese zodiac and to see the element mixed in with the zodiac sign, to read about it, because it always has synergy with the other astrology and numerology. So I'm not going to overly talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it just a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and start on our backs. So what I would like you to try, it doesn't mean you have to do this, because it does depend on, you know, the kinks in your body and dependent upon each individual. If you can, see if it's possible to line up your body this way. This is the yin way of doing corpse pose. And it's basically like you're creating an X shape with your body. Obviously, if that's not good for your knees, your low back, your shoulders, do something different. Something that caters to you, where it's not giving you any grief. So just close your eyes. Let the back of your body just begin to melt down into the floor below. Feel the contact that you have against the earth, whether or not you're on the sticky mat or splayed away from the sticky mat, maybe feeling the textures of that along with the texture of your clothing, and maybe covering your body or any exposed skin. And then just kind of travel through your body, taking a mental inventory of what you're bringing to the mat with you today. How is your body feeling? Has it been speaking up lately? Are there any areas that need more nurturing, more compassion? And if that's the case, send it some love now and remember it when we get to the poses that target that region. With any new moon, there tends to be lower, more grounding type energy. So it may be easy for you to ground into your body. If you're finding it's not, focus on your breath work, especially your exhalations, because that will help to drop you in. This new moon is in Aquarius, and Aquarius brings hope for the future. It governs innovative ideas, visionary thinking, and freedom. This energy is building because the sun and the moon are in the sign. Aquarius is the water bearer. It can pour healing waters onto us, onto the earth, and it can assist us in washing away any illusions or any ignorance that blocks us from real truth. This sign allows us to celebrate our differences, to embrace our uniqueness, to show and to be expressive in nature. It'll help us to see and understand we all have specific talents. And this is the year to be seen, to be heard, and to shine our own unique light. This is the year of the black water rabbit.
The rabbit represents alertness, creativity, growth, fertility, instincts, and intuition. And those are very feminine qualities. The water is also related to the feminine as well as the moon. It is yin, it's reflective, and it's purifying. This year is the number 7, a highly spiritual number, a time for healing and soul searching. So even though the planets are direct and will be allowed to move forward into action this year, and this year is about action and taking leaps of faith and hopping into the unknown, so to speak, with the rabbit energy, it's also time to find solace, stillness, silence, so that we can hear our intuitive hits, so that we can be dreaming to visualize what we want to materialize. Let's remember to find the balance between the two, to break out of the box, to pioneer new upstarts, and to take the leaps into the unknown. Now let's begin to move and breathe with intention. Let's go ahead and walk the feet closer together. Take your arms up overhead. Point your toes like you're doing a morning stretch. And then as you exhale, bring the arms around in front, pull your left knee in, and then hug it in towards your heart. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead, extend your left leg long. Exhale, hug your right knee in, bring the arms around in front. We're gonna flow with the breath. Inhale, extend all limbs. Exhale, bring in your left knee. Continue this. Breathing in, expanding and extending, and then exhaling, contracting and hugging. Remember to synchronize movement with your breath. Moving with breath creates a vinyasa. And this type of movement can be very therapeutic. Like Vini yoga. Feel free to activate that Ujjayi breath if you want to hear and listen to the soothing sound of the breath as you journey in and out of these shapes. Now we're going to end on the right knee. So once you hug the right knee in, you can extend back out, arms overhead. All right, now go ahead and slide your feet, both of them, over to the right upper corner of your mat, and then swerve the upper body to the right corner of the mat. So you're creating what's called banana asana, taking the shape of a banana or a crescent moon. With this in play, you want your sits bones on the floor, your shoulders on the floor, and maybe your hands. I know some of you have a prop behind you, and it's okay to rest on that prop. It's also okay to push it away. So because the water is yin, I'm going to be mixing in a few yin postures with this practice today. In yin, we want to soften into it. We want to relax into ourselves so that we're steeping and marinating in these poses. You can still breathe low into your belly and high up into your heart center, so that you can surf the wave of the breath as it travels up and down, which will also bring to you a state of alertness in your mind and calm focus to your mind. I know we've had a lot of change the last few years, and change is often hard for people to handle. So if you had a pioneering or innovative idea stirring within, just know this energy is being supportive of you breaking out of your box and trying something new. And you could very well be embarking on the change that you or others or we as a whole want to see in the world. So affirm mentally and internally, inside your mind, strength and courage fills up my brain and body cells. Each in-breath, invite the strength and courage in. Every exhale, visualize anything blocking that is being washed out and away. All right, on your next in-breath, let's go ahead and shimmy back to center. And then we'll slide the feet over to the left corner, and then we'll curve the upper body the same direction. Remember, it's possible to go too deep, to do too much, and your body will give you the signal if you're going there, either through presenting pain, and we want to prevent pain in the body. So if you need to cater to any area to reduce discomfort, please do so. Your breath can also be a signal. So if your breath is being held, if it feels like it's restrained or not flowing productively or abundantly, then let go a little bit physically. Don't be so dramatic with it. Because the breath should be more dynamic than the posturing. Trying to break up any tension surrounding the lungs to free up the breath. When you free up the breath, you free up yourself, because the breath taps us right into our spirits, our soul essence. Strength and courage fill up my brain and body cells. All right, so this is gentle flow. We will be flowing in the mix of these yin held positions. Let's just take a couple more breaths.
All right, inhale, let's slide back to center. And then let's bring the arms beside our bodies, palms facing downward, and walk the feet in so the knees are bent. All right, we're gonna do abdominal bridge flow. So as you inhale, press down through the soles of the feet, circle the arms back overhead to frame the face. Tucking the tailbone, rising up like bridge. And then as you exhale, you're gonna flow down to your spine, bringing the arms with, lifting the feet off the floor and the head off the floor, and coming in like a cannonball. And then inhale, sink the feet, arms overhead, tuck and lift. Bring the chest towards your chin. And then exhale, roll it down one vertebra at a time. And contract the core, rounding the upper back. All right, let's continue. Inhaling up. Opening the front body, strengthening the back body. Exhale, rolling down, stretching the back body, strengthening the front body. All right, so continue this with your breath. When you're lifting your hips up, make sure you stay grounded on the mount of the big toes so your knees don't sway away. You're stabilizing your knees, activating the inner quads, keeping the knees narrow. We're just going to do one more of these. Synchronizing with breath. And then maintain your grip of your knees and lower your head to the mat. And notice how much you're pulling in. Try not to pull too heavily or too tight. Breathe down deep into the belly so it's bellowing up and out as you inhale. Retracting down again on the exhale. Close the eyes for brevity of time, adding in the affirmation to plug this into your stream of thoughts, but also to plant the seed in your heart. I reduce all my scattered forces to rise up and away into the sky. All right, gently roll over to the right side of your body, push down into your left palm, and rest yourself up. Now we're gonna come all the way up to stand. So let's go ahead and come to stand at the top of the mat. We're actually going to separate the feet and turn the feet out to the sides. From here, we're gonna take the hands to face out, circle the arms up overhead as you breathe in. And then as you exhale, bend the knees and come down like Kali Goddess. All right, inhale, straighten the legs, float the arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, widen your hips as you sit down. Good, continue. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, centering, hands to heart as you drop in. Good, couple more. Relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears when the hands come to heart center. Elbows still lifted, flying up and out, which keeps the heart open. Last one. All right, release your hands, bring the feet back together, facing the front side of the room, bending your knees, taking your right wrist out and flexing it. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead, follow your gaze with your hand. Exhale, swoop it down and forward. Inhale, coming up, back stroking the arm, and exhale, swoop it down and around. So notice you're getting a little twist here. Also opening up range of motion in the shoulder.
Think about also washing any sticky residue in your auric field. Last one. All right, take it to the left. If it strains the neck to keep your gaze at your hand, you don't have to turn so much. This is how you become your own inner teacher through your own experimentation. Right? This year is about celebrating our differences, our uniqueness, even in the way we perform yoga. Last one. All right, come to meet me at the top of the mat, hands to prayer position, Anjali Mudra, ground your feet, take the arms to your sides and up overhead. All right, so stacking onto your leg bones, pressing the feet firmly into the floor. Feel the engagement of the whole circumference of your thighs. Feel the engagement of your calves, the upliftment in your navel center. And then on the exhalation, you're gonna soften your knees. And as you soften your knees, it's not gonna be as engaged through the lower body. We're gonna turn the palms to face forward. We're not gonna have too much extension through the fingertips. It's gonna be more loose and limp. And on the exhale, we come down. And on the inhale, the back of the hands will lead us up. We'll charge into the feet to rise up to the top. Good, and then exhale, cascade forward and down. All right, little bit of yoga therapy. Inhaling up, keeping it gentle, exhale down. Beautiful breath, keep it going. This time, stay down, knee softly bent, except grab a hold of your forearms or elbows. Bow your head completely. This is the dangling pose, similar to Uttanasana, but we're targeting more of the fascia. You're still gonna get some work in your hamstrings. We're opening up space for the SI joints at the low back. We're stretching the ligaments alongside the spine. And this is a great refreshment for the mind. Your jaw's really tense or tight. You can breathe out through your mouth or arch your lips to help break that up. Forward fold, really calming to the nervous system. So continue to focus on those long out breaths, even though the energetics part of the pose may feel a little intense in your lower body. All right, let's go back to active. Press down through the feet, straighten out through your leg bones, circle the arms to your sides and up. Be very expansive here. Take up some space in the room. Bring yourself to upward worship at the top. And then exhale, fold over straight legs this time, keeping the legs engaged. Uttanasana. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins. Reach long through the vertebrae. Look out with your eyes. Exhale, drape back down and in. Half sun salutes. Inhale, press down, circle the arms up, take up space, bring it up to upward worship. Gratitude coming down through the heart as you humbly fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lifting up and out. Good, exhale, drape back down. Inhale all the way to the top. Exhale, come back down to Uttanasana. All right, we're going to continue to flow. Separate your hands. As you inhale, we're stepping both feet to plank. All right, as you come to plank, you're stacking on your palms, pushing the ground away from you with your hands. And then determine here, do you need the knees down to make it more gentle? Or can you keep the thighs plucking up towards the sky? Try not to droop the head down. Keep your neck in line with the rest of the spine. See if it's okay to rock forward and lower down like a low push-up. If not, just send your knees first and come on down. Okay, once you come to the belly, you're gonna take your hands back, face down, fingertips reaching to the back of the room. Now lengthen your leg bones, thigh bones, shin bones, feet. Keep the feet glued to the mat and inhale, lift to like a half locust, where your head's up, your shoulders up, your chest is up, and then you're gonna find, oh my goodness, it's a little hard to breathe here because we're resting on the diaphragm. So I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna focus on breath too. Ride the wave of your breath. Like a surfer at sea, waiting for the next wave. All right, come to chin or brow. Take your hands now into a fist, hide the thumb that represents the ego. You're going to stack the hands in that hip crease, that groove or indentation on either side of your pubic bone. Now we're going to focus on the lower body. Inhale, slowly lift the feet and legs up. Lengthen them up and down, up and down, up and down. Chin or brow is fine. Strengthening, toning the legs and glutes. Strengthening the back. Good, exhale, land your feet. Remove your hands and set your hands up on either side of your shoulders or chest. Okay, this is what we're gonna do here. Inhale, you're not really using your arms, okay? You're just lifting up into a low cobra. And then as you exhale, you're gonna tip forward to your head and then fly the feet off the floor. We're gonna seesaw. Inhale, head, shoulders lift. Exhale, head down, feet and legs up and down. Just seesawing back and forth. This is the inhale. And then fly the feet up on the exhale. Just one more. All right, for those who need to stay away from flexed knees, you're gonna take your arms and cross them in front of you, and you're gonna bow your head and be here, but rock the hips before you settle in. Anyone that can take child's pose and your knees are okay with that, you're gonna slide your hands under the shoulders. You're gonna push up through table. You're gonna rock back to extended child's pose, but you're gonna rest the elbows down. Forehead down. Residing on the third eye. And then from here, you of course can determine, do you like your thighs knit together? Do you need them separated? What feels best for you, for your back? Pausing and holding here. Meditate on your breath and try to feel the ripple effect of the breath in your back body, ballooning out your back lungs. Think about Aquarius, the water bear, and the water pouring down from the heavens, washing over the back of the heart where we tend to hold and house the pain from our past.
And adding in the affirmation. And now release and relax away from all outer involvements into my own inner haven of peace. All right, slowly start to lift your head up. Those of you from that prone position, you're gonna back up and come to down dog with us. Find your way of doing that. The rest of us in child's pose, we're gonna extend the arms, rock forward, curl the toes, and then take downward facing dog. Okay, so again, pressurize the hands, straighten out through the fingers. Lengthen out through your arms, lift and rise out of your shoulders, high up into your seat, because that's the pinnacle of the pose. All right, this is a gentle class, and you know your body better than anyone, okay? So if you need to meditationally walk forward, that's what you're gonna do. But if you have a healthy body and you want to be like the rabbit, you're gonna bend the knees, you're gonna lift your head up, and you're gonna think about this is the time, the year to take those leaps of faith. And you're gonna hop to the top of the mat, coming halfway up when you do. And then exhale, bow over and down. All right, inhale, step back, downward facing dog. Recreate that position, this inversion. Spiral the muscles through your arms and legs. Open up the breath of life. You have another opportunity to either be cautious and compassionate and meditationally walk forward to the top of the mat, or you can be like the rabbit and you can take that leap of faith forward and then exhale, bow out, letting go through the neck. All right, we're gonna do that one more. This is the power of 3 here. You can step back, downward facing dog. Lining up your body, refining your breath. And then if you want to join me, feel free to bend the knees, feel free to hop forward as lightly as possible to the soles of the feet. Straightening out through the legs and folding. All right, on your next inhale, sweep the arms to your sides and up overhead. All the way up above, upward worship. And then exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Now this is where, if you want to use blocks for Skandasana, have them available alongside your feet. If you know you're fine without the use of blocks, you're just going to use your hands, okay? Hands to prayer. Let's begin. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, fold in. What we'll do first is step back with the right foot lunging into the left knee. All right, before we move into that Skandasana, you're already set up and the hands are welcome to be on the floor, framing the foot. We're gonna slowly drop down to your back heel, and we're first gonna come up to Virabhadrasana 1. Warrior 1 position, grounding the feet, rolling open through the front thigh, and bringing the right hip around as much as you can, obviously protecting your back knee, shining the arms up, looking straight ahead with your eyes, finding your focus. And then as you exhale, you're going to tip forward. You're going to splay the arms out like wings of an airplane, just at an angle, just at a degree that's comfortable for you. Stabilize that front knee, and then take your hands down to the floor or blocks. Your left foot is going to turn to face the corner, and then you're going to turn the right foot out as you lunge into the left knee. Lunging into the left knee. Left knee. Left knee.
We're already in lunge on the left knee, right?
Yes, we were in the lunge on the left knee, and then we took the side lunge on the left knee. Sorry. That's okay. Always speak up if you're confused. It's fine. All right, now walk your hands or the blocks. Turn your right toes to the back corner of your mat. Not to the back short edge, to the corner of the mat. Yeah, so you're still kind of facing the front door. Good, now crouching tiger, Skandasana to the left. Side lunge here.
Left toes face the corner. Good, walk it off to the right. Good, and one more time to the left, but this time when we're to the left, turn your feet properly so you're back in the front lunge. Okay, you're gonna walk your left hand or block if you're using it to the inside of the foot. You're gonna heel toe the left foot over a smidge. Good, you can come down to forearms or blocks, or you can stay stacked on the stilts of the arms. You can stay as you are. Yeah, now, test the waters here. Is it possible to turn the left foot slightly to roll to the outer edge of the foot to wing the knee apart? Yeah. Kind of like what we do in Soma lunge, kind of what we do in yen when we're doing winged dragon. Again, I wouldn't roll to the outer edge of the foot or wing the knee out if you're coming back from knee surgery. I would just keep the foot face down, the knee pointed forward. And if your back knee needs to settle to the ground, that's okay too. Maybe it's being drawn to gravity. Maybe you don't have anything prohibiting you from doing that. Take your time with it. Breathe into it. The hips are related to the element of water, which relates to the feminine and the moon. We're not being totally yin today, even though I'm bringing in some yin elements. So we're not going to hold it much longer. All right, let's go ahead and replant the left foot, turn the toes to face the front, come back onto straight arms or blocks. If the back knee is down, you're going to lift it up. You're going to heel toe the left foot over to bring the hand or block to the opposite side. All right, now spring forward and step back with your left foot. Again, the blocks can turn 2 or 3 different ways and heights if you need to bring the floor to you. Right now, we're just in the lunge, and then we're going to turn and plant the back foot. And then we're safely, cautiously coming up warrior one. We're going to do that same sequence now on this second side. And you know, this year is about celebrating our differences, our uniqueness. Each side is even unique. So pay attention, do what needs to be done in order to act with compassion for yourself. All right, from here, we'll splay the arms out like wings of an airplane. Keep the back foot glued down as you hinge forward. Maybe look at a piece of the wood grain. Good, exhale, hands down. All right, if you're gonna use the blocks, walk them over to the left, turning your right toes to the corner. And you may want to heel toe the left foot back just a bit to lunge into the right knee, to straighten out through the left leg. We're still on that same side. Okay, now crouching tiger. Straighten out the right leg. Turn your left toes to the corner of the mat. You guys are doing great. All right, crouching tiger to the right. Slowly, gently, creeping, crawling, one side to the next. This is good for the root chakra, good for the sacral chakra, earth element, water element. Good, once you turn back into that right knee, we're gonna slowly swivel back around, coming into that same lunge we did at the top. However, we're gonna heel toe the right foot over. Right hand or block comes to the inside. And then you can be stacked on your arms here, or you can lower to your forearms. You okay, Nancy?
Yeah.
And you can turn the right toes out, roll to the outer edge of the foot, and wing the knee away. If the back leg starts to really drag and you want to set it down, it's okay. Form that relationship with your breath. Well, breathe deep. For this year, it's important to take time to withdraw, to retreat, to reflect. That way we get the downloads, we can look for the signs and synchronicities, we can listen to our own intuitive voice to prompt us when it's time to act. All right. Now, we're not going to go back into the flow here. We're actually coming down to the floor. So you're going to heel toe that right foot back. If you can send it back to table, but we're eventually going to come down to a seat and take the legs out in front. When you do that, kind of shimmy your knees. And then slide your right foot back, open up from the hip, and then obviously check in here. So if you need additional support for whatever reason, for the hip or knee, add that in. Okay, so if you want to begin, Karen suggested, I want you to teach a yin class. So I was like, I'll bring a little in today. So true yin, your body's more relaxed, right? And then when you come up, your spine gently rounds. But if you have a history of, herniated disc, that's not the best thing to do. So you would be sliding the foot in, you would be flexing that foot, you'd be extending the back here and tilting forward, keeping and maintaining a straight back flex foot and engagement in your leg. Okay, so it depends on you. I'm going to be yin, but you can be yang if you need to be. All right, inhale, arms up. Exhale. Take the forward fold. In the approach with the intention you desire. And either way, you're going to close your eyes. Let's have butterfly. In yin, and if you're doing it the active way, it's Janu Shasana, head of the knee pose. So if you're doing it the yang way, you're just gonna back up with a straight back. If you're doing it the yin way, you can flip your hands to the sticky mat. You can draw the navel in, and then as you walk your hands back, you're unfurling the spine and then slowly stacking each vertebra on top of the other. Yeah. So right knee up and slide it out. Slide your left foot in and open from the hip. Again, each side's different. Maybe you need support on one side, you did the other. Think about, again, your experience, your life thus far. Do you need to be yin or yang? Inhale, lifting, activating if necessary. Exhale, spilling over or hinging with the straight back.
active. You're gonna keep the right ankle flexed. You're gonna keep the belly hugging in. And you're gonna come up with a straight back. If you're draping and rounding over, you're gonna plant your palms. You're gonna slightly squeeze in through the belly, and you're gonna walk it in and slowly stack each vertebra all the way up. All right. Because that head is so bowed and you're rounded, you can get slightly lightheaded. It's okay, it goes away pretty quickly. All right, so there's gonna be choices for those coming back from knee surgery. You're gonna be in butterfly, straight back if you need it, or rounding if you can, props underneath the knees if you're okay with this mechanic. The rest of us are gonna try the rabbit pose. And the reason why I'm not suggesting rabbit pose is it's on the knees and it's similar to child's, okay? So let me just give you a visual really quick. We're all gonna do it this way first, head down, lifting the hips, rolling to the top of the head. We're gonna do that 3 times. And then we're gonna try to do it the kind of like more traditional way. Because I want you to see this first. In extended child's pose with the arms outstretched, can't you tell my back is straighter versus being in regular child's pose? Can you see it's more rounded, more egg shaped? We want the egg shape. Okay, we want the egg shape because we're going towards a cat stretch back in the rabbit pose. So to get to rabbit pose, and I'll give you this demo and then we'll all do it. You grip your heels, your ankles, slide the forehead in just a tiny bit, like an inch or so. And then as you lift the hips, you're trying to hollow out the belly. And your arms kind of lock into place here. But notice there's no real weight on the head. The weight is more in your knee, shins, feet, and your arms locking are prohibiting you from, putting all that weight in your neck and head. All right, so let's do the first one. And then you guys that need butterfly, you can do butterfly. So the hands in front, but wider than the knees, so off to the sides. And this will leave you room to come down to the brow, like the hairline area. And then slowly roll up by elevating your hips, moving to the top of the head. Now squeeze your arms in towards your legs so that you're using the strength of your arms, lock them in, and then exhale, roll back to your brow. And do that twice more. Inhale, locking in the arms, use the weight in your hands and legs. So there's very, very little weight on top of the head. And do that 3 times over. All right, and this may be your better way of doing Sasandasana. All right, let's try it the real way. All right, take your arms around you, create the egg shape with your spine, and hook a hold of your ankles. The arms won't lock until we get into position. And then forehead slides closer to the knees. Inhale, lift the hips, scoop in through the belly. Let your arms naturally lock and feel the cat stretch spine. Feel that area opening up in between your shoulders. And this is great prep work, by the way, for headstand. Nice work. I want you just to bring in the affirmation before you exit out. I am master of my energy. I am master of myself. All right, gently release out. That's our final inversion today. So slowly begin to build yourself up. Work your legs out in front. And I'm gonna let you determine, do you want the bolster underneath the thighs and knees for Shavasana? Or do you want it under the back for a heart opening pose, perhaps? And if you don't know, maybe play with both and see which one feels best. I'm going to dim the overhead lights. Change out the music. And I'm actually going to lead you through some breath work.
We usually do this breath work sitting upright. But I'm gonna instruct you from here. So I want you to think about anytime there's a new year, whether it's the regular solar calendar or the lunar calendar, we usually talk about good luck, prosperity. And this breath work is called horseshoe breath. And a horseshoe is symbol of good luck. Before we get into the breath work, I want you to realize that when we're drawing the breath into our system, the air is just kind of lingering in front of the face. And we now know, and I've taught you many times over, that the heart, the seat of the soul, has an emittance of energy that radiates out in front of the body. So on your next breath in, feel the air being drawn towards your nose, coming through the tip, and up to the bridge and the root where it meets the face. And as you exhale, follow it back from the root down to the bridge, to the tip, beyond. Taking in that air from before the face, into the nose, up to the bridge, to the root. Whenever you exhale, follow it down from the root, through the bridge, out through the tip, beyond. Do that a couple more times. We're going to take this deep. Whenever you breathe in, you're going to follow it up through the nose, through the root. Follow the bend down into the windpipe and into the sac of lungs. As you exhale, feel it release from the lungs, moving up through the windpipe, across the bend, down and out through the nose. Follow this horseshoe shape. Breathing it in through the nose, down to the bend. Allow it to expand and fill up the lungs. When you exhale, allow them to deflate. Follow the breath back out, beyond. After you follow this horseshoe shape, thinking the admittance of energy you're sending out from the heart, you can rest in that space, be in that space. You can let the breath go.
state of yoga. Connect with source energy. So now would be a good time. Maybe visualize what you want to materialize. Dreaming of something. Have one of these ideas swirl. Imagine it as if it already happened. Trust, the universe has you back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Create a little movement in your hands, your feet. And then slowly begin to exit out of this pose so that you can form a proper seat. Sitting upright. We'll chant Om together. So the way we do this, in case you haven't been with us, we're inhaling the arms overhead. We'll exhale, bring the hands together down to heart center as we Om it out together. All right, let's do that. Inhale, up. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Being here today. Hope it's what you needed. Year of the rabbit. Talk to it.